Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a different way of making this fish sauce. So I've posted this video before now, but that was a different recipe. But because I saw that you guys loved the chicken sauce and you've given us over 6,000 views with that chicken sauce, I had to create a different recipe for my fish lovers. So come with me and let's do wonders in the kitchen. Welcome back to my channel. So for starting this sauce recipe, you're going to boil your fish and then you're going to air fry your fish just to make sure that it doesn't get scattered. You know, fish can be very stubborn at times, so you want to air fry your fish just to give it a very thick texture, to make it hard enough not to scatter, because we are going to be shredding this fish, so you don't want it to lose its consistency. You want to keep it together. Okay, so that is the reason why I am air frying this fish. So I just steamed this fish down with some onion, ginger and garlic paste, a combination of rodo pepper, shombo and my tatashe, and then seasoning cubes, curry and thyme. So that is actually what I use to steam this fish with a little water. Then I air fried this fish. I air fried this fish for 10 minutes. Yes, for 10 minutes. And after the first 5 minutes, I would flip it over, because you don't want your fish to get burnt on one side and then not properly cooked at the other side. So make sure you flip your fish over always when you are air frying. So I air fried this in 200 degrees for 10 minutes, flipping it over after the first 5 minutes. So I feel that this heat was actually much, so I recommend that you use 190 degrees centigrade while you are doing that. And I also reduced the temperature while I did the second and third and other batches. So guys, basically this is how to prep your fish for this sauce. So you can see I reduced the heat to 190 degrees centigrade, which actually worked better. So for this sauce, you need your tomatoes, and pay attention while you are cutting your tomatoes. You don't want to cut it very tiny, so you want to cut it as though you are making sauce, because you are actually making sauce. In here I have my ginger and garlic paste, I have my onion, and I have 3 peppers, which are tatashe, rodo and shombo. Then I also have 3 different bell peppers, which are red, yellow and green bell peppers, and I have my carrot, which I also cut generously. Emphasis on generously. Your veggies should be generously cut. Okay, I have my green beans, I have my spring onions. I also and earlier I showed you my tomatoes. So this recipe is so healthy that you can use just like 2 to 3 spoons of oil to make it, and I kid you not, very little oil and you are good to go, because you don't fry this, actually you boil it down. Okay, so once your oil goes in, the next thing to come in is your ginger and garlic paste, just to build the base of the flavor for the sauce. And then you go in with your 3 combination of peppers, and then you go in with your onion. So this recipe I use 6 different peppers. So for the bell peppers, green, red and yellow, and then for the other peppers for the flavor and heat, I have my rodo, tatashe and shombo. So that is the 6 different peppers I use for the sauce. And then once you go in with the first 3 different peppers, your garlic and ginger paste and your onion, you go in with your tomato, which you will chop in sizable bits. Okay, and then allow that to boil down until it's no longer tangy. And then you go in with your fish stock. Okay, go in with your fish stock and then allow it to boil again. At this point, I have not started seasoning this sauce base because I would first of all infuse the flavor from my stock before I start adjusting my seasoning. So you can see this is just now that I am adjusting my seasoning after allowing the fish stock to marry each other with the tomatoes and peppers, and then when I go in to taste it, I can now start readjusting the flavors. So now I just went in with my Korean thyme and then my salt and then seasoning cubes. So you want to taste as you go because I won't be dropping any quantity for this. Okay, you want to taste as you go. My taste board and your taste board may not be the same, and this is not baking that you would you need an exact recipe for your clients. So this is what you have to do with your discretion and your taste buds. Now once you are done adjusting the seasonings, you want to go in with the remaining pepper mix. Okay, your pepper one, which is your rodo, tatache and shombo, you want to go in with the remaining mix. Okay, it's not yet time to add your bell peppers. I'll tell you when it's time. You can see I went ahead to still readjust my seasoning, so feel free to do this as you go. Okay, don't have a particular measurement in your head, no, because the quantity of tomato you are using might not be same as me. So right about now I just added in my onion, spring onion. Yes, I just added in my spring onion and then allowed it to marry itself before I now added in my red, yellow and my green bell peppers. Okay, so you want that to also infuse its flavors into the sauce. Just stir it a bit and then allow it infuse the flavor into the sauce, and then you can now go in with your protein. Okay, so this is the time to add in your protein, and in this recipe we are using fish. So this sauce is a very healthy sauce that you can pair with almost every and anything. You can pair this with sweet potatoes, you can pair it with yam, you can pair it with rice, you can pair it with name it as anything that you can pair with stew. You can pair it with this sauce and it would come out absolutely yummy, and I kid you not, this sauce is kids friendly, it's adult friendly, it's even friendly for anyone on a diet, and it is friendly for you that is also trying to eat healthy. And for my TTC moms, it is very, 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 very nice. Try it, and I am sincerely, you need to try this sauce. I'm not overhyping or trying to overrate it. No, this sauce always comes in handy for me, and with this sauce I don't even remember the last time I eat stew, because this sauce is actually yummier for me and it is healthier. So why not? It's that same tomatoes that I'll be frying up and down to make stew. Why not just use it to make this sauce? So if you're asking if it's cost effective, the answer is yes. For the kind of nutrition it's going to nourish your body with, the answer is yes. Nothing beats that. Okay, so once you've added in your protein, you just cover it and allow it to just infuse its flavor into the sauce, and just 3 to 5 minutes is enough. And then you go in with the veggies, the last veggies that you're going to add, which is your carrots and your green peas. And once you've added your carrots and your green peas, mix everything together. The highest you can allow it on heat is 1 to 2 minutes. In fact, once I mix everything together, I don't even allow it on heat anymore. I just bring it down. So because I want the carrots and the green beans to remain crunchy. Okay, so the uniqueness of this this sauce is the crunch that comes from the carrot. Okay, so you don't want to lose that crunch. Okay, so just a little steam that would come on the carrots. Immediately you pour it in and then allow it to marry itself there. Before I covered that pot, I had already turned off the heat, so you can see that it's just a little steam left in the pot or trapped in the pot that will just do its thing on the carrot while it remains crunchy. So I advise that after making the sauce and serving the quantity you want to serve immediately, the next thing you should do is to pack them up in your freezer. Okay, this is not that sauce that you want to preheat and warm and heat and warm over and over again. As a matter of fact, you don't even need to add water to this sauce again. You don't need to reintroduce water to this sauce again, because you can see we did not use any thickener at all. No synthetic thickener. The tomato served as a thickener. Okay, so you don't need to reintroduce water, say in the name of warming. No, even as you are packing it up in your freezer, when it's time to reuse it, just cook the quantity you want and then set your gas or whatever you're cooking with on the lowest heat and allow it just steam up. So that's the best way I warm the sauce whenever I want to use it. Or if you're using a microwave, you just pop it in there. Don't add water at all. I'm telling you, don't add water to this sauce. Make it let it retain the original taste and flavor. Sincerely, you're gonna love the sauce. Cook it for your family. And you can, if you're asking can you use more than one protein, the answer is yes. So you can do fish and chicken. I've not tried using goat meat. That is because I do only white meat, which is chicken, and then fish. Okay, and those are like the healthiest protein if you ask me. So guys, would you be trying this? I want to hear in the comment section. And if you've watched this video to this point, it means you love what you see. And the only way to make me know that you love what you see is by hitting the subscribe button. And if you have any question, drop it in the comment section. And if you are returning because of the chicken sauce that you watched already, I want to tell you that you are a fan, and I am sending you hugs from Nigeria. Okay, I love you and I love the way you support this channel. Okay, so you can see I'm just packing up my sauce to the freezer because, like I said, you don't want to overwarm and rewarm the sauce. Okay, it has to remain crunchy. Believe me, if that crunch goes, oh my god, you're not going to enjoy the sauce the way you would if the crunch was still there. So do well to always pack it up in your freezer. I'm giving you not just tips for cooking it, but for storing it in order to get the best of this sauce. This sauce has always come in handy for me, and I wish that this recipe goes viral so that people would stop eating unhealthy and see a healthier version of every meal for what it is. Can you count the ingredients that I used to make this sauce? You know the health benefits of bell peppers, or is it the quantity of veggies that was invested into making this sauce? Your regular stew cannot beat it. Or is it the cooking procedure? Everything is made towards perfection, and I kid you not. Now this is what the sauce should look like when you're done, and you can pair this sauce, like I said earlier, with rice, yams, potatoes, anything, just about anything you eat with your stew. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to this channel because just like this sauce, even more of my yummy recipes which you cannot find elsewhere are coming and hitting your screen. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.